đồ cho rau sư, rau salad, like this.
So we plant cucumbers and we plant squash and lettuce and Roma tomatoes as well.
A lot of our farmers do direct markets, farmers markets on the weekend, and they don't know who's going to show up. They don't know who's going to buy what and what volume they're going to sell. And so there's a lot of uncertainty just around income.
So we have a program called LEAF, Local Emergency Assistance Farmer Fund. And that's all government dollars actually that get funneled to the Good Acre so we can pay farmers directly for their produce. But then all that produce is actually funneled to food shelves.
It came out of because of the pandemic. They didn't want farmers, like mom and pop farmers, to throw away the produce that they couldn't sell during the pandemic.
So a lot of the farmers who are like, oh, I've never sold to wholesale before, LEAF, we accept anything. Like we do have standards as far as like what we want the box size to look at, but all that's educational.
Yeah, she said it's been a pleasure working with the Good Acre just because we're also vendors at the Minneapolis Farmers Market. And so sometimes we're left with excess or a surplus amount of vegetables. So it's been very helpful.
I refer to many people.
And then a lot of the farmers that we work with, like once they've done a year or two of that, then they'll get a wholesale contract with us.
Wholesale has a lot of power for our farmers. So I feel like the benefit to having a wholesale market and especially having contracts that we can provide to our farmers to plan long term gives them that stability of income, gives them the ability to plan for their production.
After having 14 seasons of growing vegetables on my soil and getting to know my farm and my conditions, I feel like I have a better grasp of how to grow the food. The biggest barrier for me now is selling it and finding markets and finding good, reliable markets that are sustainable.
I mean, if you've contracted an acre of cabbage, you know it's going somewhere. Like you can grow that cabbage, you can look at that cabbage and know that that's going to be a reliable income for you. So for farmers who want to expand their wholesale markets, I think really just equipping yourself with the skills required to sell larger volume in large cases. You know, what does that warehouse require around casing, case sizing, invoicing, labeling, even just delivery, warehouse hours. You know, maybe you were contracted or you made an agreement in the winter to bring 80 cases of bok choy in June, but it doesn't help if you tell us the day before that you're only going to be able to bring 20. We can do that, but I think the more you can plan around what's realistic for you, the better the relationship will be and more trust will be like around that transaction.
So I can spend more time in the field growing more vegetables and growing vegetables of a high quality. During the growing season, all I have to do is fulfill my contracts and they deal with it from there.
That is how we do the trunk load to truckload at the Good Acre.